The overall experience is wonderful. I would say this is very unique. And why do I say it's unique? I think one, in terms of the topic selected, it has obviously had a lot of thinking behind it, looking at financial independence from the lens of both entrepreneurs as well as leaders. Most of the time when we are talking about financial independence, the lens goes into entrepreneurs. So my question was, why do you have me here? Because I'm a leader in an established organization. And the idea was on, what can we look at as learning, cross-pollination of learnings across, because the themes and I would say the takeaways are very relevant on both sides. So one, the selection of the topic. Two, I must congratulate Dun & Bradstreet in terms of the selection of the panelists. It is always about me. I was speaking earlier today, it's always about an ROI on what is in it for me if I'm here at this conference. And I think just listening to some of my co-panelists and getting to know them and understanding the data that they were sharing has been a very enriching experience. So for me, that's definitely a big win for Dun & Bradstreet in terms of what they're doing in with this, I would say, summit and conference. The third, I think the event has also been very focused in terms of the participation that they invite. And I think that's also very relevant, because most conferences, you'll get swarmed with folks who are probably trying to sell something. And while that's great, I think we are all there to sell what we are manufacturing or whatever services we have. It's also important that you don't get lost in the crowd and the volume. And I think that, I would say, being selective and being very focused on whom you're catering to with this conference is definitely a big win. So kudos to Dun & Bradstreet for organizing this. Lots of them, but let's see. Let me focus on a couple of them. So I think we spoke a lot on bias, gender bias. It's real, especially if you're in India. This is centuries of patriarchy that we are dealing with. And I think it's okay to be empathetic to that point. There's definitely been a lot of focus on diversity, on gender diversity. Let's not, one, take it as an entitlement. Two, let's also not get too hung up on when people don't understand, because I know that given these centuries of conditioning, there's obviously a lot of work to be done. It's always in our best interest to be empathetic on why people are thinking the way they are thinking. And of course, I would say, don't shy away to take the path less taken, because that's the only way you'll be an inspiration for others. So start being an inspiration, and learning is a continuous process. I have my 86-year-old mother-in-law who's down with Parkinson's. She's on bed. Guess what? She started learning a new language because she was always passionate about it. So you know what? This is not about gender. This is about, as humans, being continuously on a learning mode.